two of the biggest names in the UFC right now, one chasing history, one chasing revenge. Before Petr Yan and Merab Dvalishvili collide in their trilogy fight.
But everybody loves Yan, and they've seen Yan versus Merab 2 recently. They're waiting for it to be ran back. Merab's picked up a bit of a fan base online. I am going to go with Petr Yan winning this fight pretty handily as well. If he comes in healthy, which I'm assuming is the reason for the delay, is that so he can come into this fight healthy, I think he beats Merab 8 times out of 10. Very competitive fight, as it was in the rematch as well. But when it comes to damage, Yan's got the damage. I don't think Merab, in the first fight, he headbutted Petr Yan and Yan's eye swole up. But while Yan's got 2 hands functioning, and he's healthy, and he can throw what he wants, I don't see a way that Merab's punches are really going to get past Yan's defense and cause any real significant damage to him. Whereas, this nose has seen better days, to say the very least.
That's the hype, bigger than the actual main event. But is the confidence in Merab justified? Yan isn't just a champion. He's rewriting UFC history. You need to hear the case for the machine. Because according to this next analyst, Merab isn't just the favorite. He might be unbeatable right now. That's a bold prediction, but it's not the only one on the table.
Merab seems like he's superhuman, right? And he kind of is in many ways. I'm a huge fan of the guy. I love the way he conducts himself. I love the way he carries himself. He's just an awesome human being. It seems like non-stop energy, always in a good mood.
Ah, so good, so good.
Shows up every single time, trying to finish fights constantly, non-stop output, takedowns, strikes, you name it, the man is always working. But that comes at a cost. And 4 training camps in a year, it's not crazy, but it is maybe a reason why Petr Yan might just be a little bit more explosive. He is probably the cleaner boxer on the feet.
Merab has revenge on his mind. He's in his prime. He's dangerous on the feet, and he's been given a golden opportunity to settle the score. So who actually wins this trilogy? Here's the final verdict from someone who's broken down the tape frame by frame. And even he admits, this one is closer than people think.
Some knees to the body. That way you're kind of scoring and you're also trying to drain Merab's energy from his gas tank. And, you know, he shot 49 times and he only succeeded 11 times. When you succeed in defending that takedown, Petr Yan's gonna get on him. You know, I break. I defend a takedown. I gotta throw a 1-2 or 2-3 or 2-5 or 2-3-10. He's got to be punished for trying to take me down and failing to take me down. You fail the takedown. Okay, guess what? Here's a receipt, right? You're trying to buy a takedown. Decline. Credit card decline. Here's $5 penalty. That's what's got to happen. That's a big thing in this fight going against Merab Dvalishvili.
Yan versus Merab is a fight about legacy still being written. But across the card, one man has already made history and nearly lost everything doing it. Islam Makhachev just broke a record no one thought would ever fall. Here's what happened when Ian Gary pushed the champion further than anyone ever has.
Most people would be over the moon to win 4 or 5 rounds on 2 cards in a fight like this. But I know Islam, and I know that he's going to judge himself differently. But the reality is, there was a lot on this kid tonight. There was a lot of pressure on him to go out there and win this fight. To think about Islam Makhachev winning 17 fights in a row, it's absolutely insane. When Anderson Silva won all those fights and defended the belt those times and had won 16 fights in a row, no one ever thought that that record would be broken. Tonight, Islam did that. You put this in historical terms, and you put this with some of the greatest sports feats we have ever seen in any sport across the board. It is about paying homage to a guy that continues to become and prove he's one of the all-time greats, if not the best fighter the UFC has ever had. Second round, he hurt Gary with a head kick. Won that round. It was in round 3 where Ian Gary defended a takedown, got top control, and it kept Islam standing the whole time and won that round across the board. He won that round on every scorecard. One judge gave Ian Gary another round, possibly round 4. Islam's corner even told him going into round 5, we don't know what's going on. We need you to win the 5th round. And I truly believe that's what champions are made of.
A record that stood for over a decade. Gone. But this wasn't a clean night for Islam. Gary came prepared, and for stretches of this fight, the champion looked human. Then came the moment that changed everything. Watch the reaction the second this head kick landed, because in that instant, everyone in the building knew exactly what kind of fighter they were watching.
Let's get to the main event of the evening with Islam Makhachev taking on Ian Gary. Now, I knew this fight was going to play out this way because you have Ian Gary, where he's such a great stand-up artist, where you look at his, like, I think it was his last 5 fights, he's gone to a decision, meaning that he doesn't really take risk. What I mean by risk, he sits out there very long 6'3" with his arm up, and he's out there and he's creating a barrier to get to him, a barrier to entry. Once you try to come across that void, he throws that jab. Then he moves. He throws a jab. He moves. You look when he fought Carlos Pratas. He beat Carlos Pratas by stifling him. He didn't beat Carlos Pratas by beating the fuck out of him, like beating him down, like, I'm going to oppose my will on you, right? So when he's fighting Islam, Islam's outside the void, southpaw. Islam did a lot of things very, very well. He would go, each time he would come in front of Ian Gary, he would take his right foot slightly outside of his lead leg because he's a southpaw. And then each time he would circle back in front of Ian Gary, he would always circle wide. That's why Ian Gary had a hard time fighting him. You know, the biggest thing is that we're always talking about Islam's got to fight Ian Gary, but you got to take it too, it's tag. Ian Gary's got to be able to fight Islam, and Islam understands the void, he understands distance very well.
That's the kind of moment that ends careers. But Gary survived it and made Islam work for every single round. So what does this performance actually mean going forward? Is this the start of decline, or just the cost of moving up in weight? Here's the most balanced breakdown of the night, and where Islam goes from here.
This wasn't a fight where I felt like Gary was close to doing anything in this fight with Islam. I just felt like, yeah, maybe he stole a round or two, but not the type of performance that makes me think that he's gonna, learn from this and come back even stronger. Maybe he does, I don't know, but I just, like, this wasn't like an inspiring performance here from Ian Gary. They even mentioned on the broadcast who's kind of standing right in front of Islam, not really moving a whole lot, not a lot of footwork in this one. The leg kicks did land, some of the kicks that he had landed, but I think total he had, he landed 5 of 7 leg kicks, but Islam actually outlanded him in that department too. He also landed some 12 body shots compared to just 3 for Islam. So we'll see what happens next for Ian Machado Gary. Big win there for Islam. Great performance here tonight, and he retains his belt. First title defense at 170.
A record broken, a trilogy on the horizon, and 2 of the sport's biggest stars entering completely different chapters of their careers. Which fight has you more excited? Merab's revenge mission, or Islam chasing the next challenge at welterweight? Drop your prediction below, and I'll see you in the next one.